So my first try on the vehicle started out really well. It was getting up to pretty good speed, and when I slowed down, it stalled and died. And I think I figured out why. Some of it's my own choice of components, and let me explain what that means. So in front of me, you'll see one of the lithium batteries, 12 volt. I mean, I bought it as a motorcycle battery. Of course, you know, my old-fashioned thinking thinks that lead-acid motorcycle batteries, high current in, high current out. You know, you can just do what you need to do, right? I should be able to run this thing, and as it slows down, it should regen the battery. But here's the difference with lithium batteries. So this battery has its own charging system. Like if you hook, you know, alternator power across here, this board here controls how much current the battery gets, so you don't overheat and damage the battery, overcurrent, overcharge, that kind of stuff. But it's only meant to have a small amount of current. From a like the battery charger that came with it is this thing. So they want you to charge the battery with this thing, and it's only 1 amp, right? So when I was slowing down, it probably regened this at 50 amps. Of course, not thinking that, you know, that this board is in here because this is new to me. I ended up, if you look, put some light in here. If you look, I fried a couple of MOSFETs. This one at the end, and the one there in the middle. Now I can read a number off of them. I'm hoping I can match them and replace them. If not, I think this battery management system has to come out. I get an external one, but it doesn't have to do with all that. Well, what I've done is I've cut regen way down on the machine. Of course, it's too late now, but I cut it down so that the acceleration or deceleration is much slower. It takes longer to slow down, so you don't get a sudden shock. But I can see this happening again if I don't do something about it. So the options are, I think, I mean, to get into here, and I advise nobody to do this at home. Like, do not be pulling lithium batteries apart. I'm sitting here, I have a fire extinguisher beside me just in case things go wrong. I can toss it out the door, hopefully. But I mean, anyway, just be careful with it. So in here, if you look, this battery pack is actually quite small. There's this whole big plastic housing, and this battery pack, put that up there so it doesn't short out. This battery pack is actually like half the size of the box. You know, it's a shame that the box has to be this big, or at least they couldn't fill it with batteries. But anyway, if the specs are the specs, these are still pretty powerful. I would love to take all of this out and put it in a much smaller pack. I could fit, you know, all 4 of these in a quarter or half of the distance, the space I'm taking up now. But what I need to do is get it so it'll work again. I was thinking of pulling this right out, but I think I would rather just fix it. So I have a number off the top of these MOSFETs. I'm gonna go onto the internet and see if I can order some. I've changed these before on other things, and it's not my favorite thing to do. I'm not the best at soldering, but you know, I don't want to damage this board by trying to change them, but I can't damage it any more than it is. So that's my next challenge, is getting this battery fixed.